Hello, everybody out there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tyler.
So, Tyler, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 6'1". I live by myself. I have a full-time job, and I also make movies on the side for the last 14 years. I get to work on Chris on our upcoming feature, Big Boobenstein, that I'm very grateful that I get to work with him on. And recently, we just wrapped production on The Lady of Castle de Mort, which comes out June 19th in theaters. And yeah, I'm excited to be on the show tonight.
Yeah, kind of doing a little differently. Like, usually I do like put my short films and like I'll do some gaming content on our YouTube. But I thought with this holidays, it would be kind of interesting to maybe talk to some indie folk and gamers that I play with and just kind of get some Christmassy chats going on.
Perfect.
So what is something cool about you that most folk wouldn't know?
It's really fun. It's kind of the whole concept that, you know, you work your day job, the 9 to 5s, and that you keep your film world life like completely separate from your day job. And then there's a couple people that mentioned, oh, they just shot this Hallmark movie in Buffalo. Like, I always wanted to be in this. And I was like, yeah, it's fun, I guess. So, and kind of go into the spiel of the very long resume and everything, too. I can't imagine Mel Heflin like explaining every single project she's been on. She would sit there for hours to the point we would need to hire Morgan Freeman just to read the resume, just to give it the umph that it needs.
Do you have a guilty pleasure movie? Doesn't have to be Christmassy, but I'm just curious, do you have a guilty pleasure movie?
Most likely Young Frankenstein. So my last feature was heavily based off the inspiration of Mel Brooks and everything too. But I think it was growing up and watching this on VHS as a kid, growing up in the 90s. So I'm pretty sure we're in the same age bracket and everything too. But it was seeing like the adult humor jokes and not understanding them properly. And now, of course, being an adult, we're like, oh, that's Abby someone. No, it's an abnormal brain. and I think that was, I caught on to that one. Like, I saw the movie, maybe I was like 8 or 9 years old, and we watched it every now and then. And then it kicked in when I was like 15. I was like, oh my God, they did that? And just so much more and everything too, that I'm very honored that Mel Brooks is still around. I'm assuming this current project that he's doing now with Spaceballs 2 might be his last, but he's definitely going to go out with a bang and stuff too. He literally left a legacy behind for all his viewers, all his fans, and inspirations. I have everything to be thankful and grateful for because of him and everything too. But definitely Young Frankenstein would probably be in my top 2. Lord of the Rings was definitely, I can't say which of the 3 are the best, just because I grew up loving all, like, the entire story that Peter Jackson accomplished with Fran, and just watching all of the countless hours of, like, I think each film had like 16 hours behind the scenes, and I would watch those growing up, and I realized like that's what I wanted to do when I grew up, kind of thing too. So that's more of things memorized just from watching that and seeing how crew and team members work and so on. And I'll just put it on when I'm cleaning the house and just keep it going, kind of thing.
I think a lot of bonus features like that get missed over time now. Like, I recently watched an interview with Rick Sloan. He's a director of Hobgoblins, but that's also the same name I have as a character in Cracula, is Rick Sloan.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he went about his whole filming of Hobgoblins, which is mostly guerrilla filmmaking, and it just, like, the kindness of strangers. And
oh yeah, I've been wanting to see Cracula really bad.
You should be able to see it soon.
Awesome. I heard it's been a riot, and I was like, I have to see this film. So
I hope you enjoy it.
Awesome.
The way I'm envisioning my character for Boobenstein, I play Ron. I feel like there'll be parts of the character Rick I play from Cracula mixed in.
I was so glad when you liked my wardrobe suggestion. I was sending ideas for like Stranger Things and Eddie Munson. I loved your response. That made my day. Of like, I thought I'd never hear those words.
Yeah, because you're like, what do you think your character would be more like? Eddie from Stranger Things or Steve Buscemi from Airheads? And I'm like,
yeah.
This is a question I never thought I'd be asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love that movie. I love Airheads. Now we'll start getting to a little bit of the Christmassy piece. Do you have any family traditions for Christmas, or do you plan to start any new ones in the coming year?
We used to. It's the whole thing of growing up, and like our grandma was like the whole centerpiece of the family, and when she passed away, it was kind of hard to maintain the tradition and everything too. It's more of I try to plan like Friends Christmas, that we all come together and hang out. I love cooking for people. So
do you have a signature dish?
I bake cookies, actually burn them, but the ones that do survive, everybody loves.
Good.
Yeah, my grandma, before she passed, she had this like lifelong list of recipes and everything too. There's a couple of them that I mastered. There's a lot of them that sadly I cannot recreate how amazing they were, but we're definitely going to do something fun this year. I think a couple years ago, I think we baked like 150 cookies and we just like handed them out at work and stuff and to friends and family and so on. And we still ended up with like 40 cookies left. Yeah, it was making the cookies, and we do it all from scratch and everything too. We never buy the pre-mixed stuff. There's one, we're really good making snickerdoodle ones, and then I keep forgetting what it's called. It's kind of these ones, it kind of has like little crushed walnuts inside of it. No, that's not, but I'll figure it out. It's one of those things I'll remember it as soon as I'm done with this episode, and I'm like, oh shit. Right into the comments of the cookies I was thinking of.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's a lot of the tradition stuff. Usually, I'll go around to a couple different friends' houses and stuff too. They have their own little mini get-togethers. So usually on Christmas Eve, I'm at 3 or 4 different houses, just making my rounds kind of thing and dropping off gifts for everybody. But other than that, I have 4 cats, so I just like spoil them like crazy. So it's yeah.
What are the name of your cats? You said you got 4.
I have Cosmo, Nebula, Ember, and Nessie.
Ooh, Nessie, that's a good name.
Yeah, because she's the Loch Ness Monster. We call her Messy Nessie because she is the klutz. She will miss her jumps. She will knock things over on accident and cause all this trouble and chaos, but then she just tries to be cute, and then she'll go away like the Loch Ness Monster and only appear when she wants to be seen. But no. When she was a kid and she used to arch her tail up, so it always looked like this little Loch Ness Monster like sticking up, and then it would like go back under. So that's why I named her Nessie.
Are you a fan of snow and cold weather?
It doesn't bother me at all. Like today we had a snowstorm here in Western New York, and I don't even watch the weather when I leave at the house in the wintertime, because it's like part of me just I'd rather not even know. I'm kind of just get dressed, get in the car and go to work or go wherever I want. The air up here in Western New York, it's really, really thin and stuff too in the cold. It's also because we're right next to the lake, and then we have that lake effect snow with our pressure system. Yeah, I used to love going sledding as a kid and everything too. We have a place called Chestnut Ridge, and if we have time during Big Boobenstein, I'll definitely show you the area, because like we have the Eternal Flame that's really not that far from there. It's like a small hiking trail, and it's this natural gas leak, and it's a flame or behind a waterfall kind of thing too. It's a really cool spot. A lot of tourists go there. I'll try to get time to take you guys to there too.
Now I'm just imagining if we can get Mel in costume there and make it look like Ron and Ad went on a little hike.
You guys would be sweating bullets. Everything too. But the location that I'm working on for the dream sequence is not that far from there. So if we have time, I'll definitely work it into the same day.
Do you have a favorite Christmas ornament?
I do. I just got to find it still. It's more of Cosmo is very anti-Christmas. He likes to take down the tree. I even had a small one that was maybe this big with just the little Star Wars ornaments and everything too. And he's like, that thing's coming right to the floor. So usually I have to now tape ornaments to the wall. My favorite ornament I had, I think we had these custom pet ones made of my old cats back in the day, Umbra and Figaro. This was like, I would say 2001, and we just always kept them. Obviously they're long passed away since now though, but I think that's my one ornament from like my childhood that I really kept on to, was the 2 cats and the Santa hats kind of thing.
So when it comes to like Christmas movies, do you prefer like the cozy, heartfelt type movies, or the more the comedic, or is it more you kind of go with the anti-Christmas, like the horror / something?
There's so much that I love of everything that you said and stuff too. So obviously if I want to do like more of adult comedy and violence, like Violent Night, that's one of the best ones in modern times and everything.
I would
too.
Agree. That was probably one of the better ones I've seen.
And they shot the sequel already, so like I'm really, really excited to see that. I love The Grinch going up to with Jim Carrey. There's a lot of heavy jokes in there too that I think he did amazing. Christmas Vacation with the Griswolds, that one is just so funny. I feel like we all grew up with that film, and it just helped us out, kind of thing of like, not as much for like the cozy family, but just the antics, like the squirrel.
I actually saw that movie for the first time maybe 2 or 3 years
ago. Oh damn. I loved it. Like the squirrel on his shoulder is so fake. Mm-hmm. That's what made it so much more funny. I wasn't too crazy about Terrifier 3. It's more of when they started getting more sci-fi at the end of number 2, I was like, but other than that, like Catherine from the first one, she did amazing. And then we have friends and stuff that were in background for number 2, which was always awesome to see them, that they went down to Pennsylvania when they shot that. But yeah, it's my grandma would always play like A Christmas Story and stuff too when I was growing up, and it was always she would turn on the TBS when it's on for like 24 hours a day. She would just leave it on the TV, and we go to change the channel to Nickelodeon, and she's like, "No," just like this is it today. She has the giant TV in the family, so we had to listen.
Like, there's some lesson you need to learn watching this movie.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I think everybody bonded with the kid when his dad swears when trying to fix the car, and the kid just doesn't back. And then he's in trouble for it. But yeah, there's so many good Christmas movies and everything too. Kind of Christmas movie that was out recently with Bruce Campbell. This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Black Friday. I thought that was really fun. That was more of reimagining Toys R Us on Black Friday night with like zombies kind of thing too. That was pretty fun to watch of them talking about the holidays and so on. I don't believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. That is the one thing that everybody will yell at me about. But
right there with
I saw it once. I'm not a fan of Bruce Willis's acting, and I sat through it, and I understand it's an action movie. I enjoyed Alan Rickman's role more than I enjoyed Bruce Willis's. And I'm like, it's a fantastic action movie, but I do not see it as a Christmas movie.
I don't see it as a Christmas movie either. Mostly because I think if we could remove the concept of Christmas out of the movie and supplement the event for any other reason that the company is gathering employees together. It could be like a Q4 awards banquet. It could be Thanksgiving. It could be a retirement party. It could have been any event that gathered people together at the table. And the husband could still be coming in to make things better.
Oh yeah, I loved even like Home Alone. Like the first one's technically like a Christmas Vacation style, if I'm right. Recently they came out with the I Like Me, the documentary with John Candy, and they went really into detail with John's work on Home Alone, and he was only there for like one day, and it was essentially his airport scene, and then they had to quickly turn around and shoot the inside of the moving truck that was driving the mom back to the house kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, they did all that in one day. He's like, John was operating on like no sleep for 2 days straight, and he still gave a performance that was amazing. But yeah, there's a lot of really high talent films, or even like cast member actors, I should say, around Christmas movies, and I think that's one of the things that make us like helps us love them so and stuff too, because it's all about kind of like what Christmas meant to all of us growing up. Each of those films has a chapter of importance in our lives growing up with those.
I would agree. Is there a Christmas movie that you've listed a fair bit there? Is there one of those or another one that you watched a lot growing up or that particularly stuck with you?
Not too much. It was mainly like the force of grandma making us watch that stuff. There's, I would say 6 or 7 years ago when Krampus came out, that was really cool. Just like really elementing like horror and comedy mixed with Christmas. I got to work with Stefania on Paper Spiders, and Stefania played the older sister that goes missing first during the storm in the Krampus movie, and it was so cool working with her on Paper Spiders and talking to her about it when the cameras weren't rolling. I'm like, hey, like you're immortalized in a Christmas movie. She's like, yeah, no one. She's like, everyone keeps telling me that. I was like, but yeah, it was so cool that I'm on screen with her for a couple scenes and stuff too. But they cut all my lines, but I'm still there in all the shots. So, yeah, it all worked out pretty well. We shot that in Syracuse in 2019 for Paper Spiders. It's on streaming right now on Vudu and Fandango, I believe.
I can relate to that experience. James Edwards is one of my favorite indie directors. I've loved his work. I love Her Name Was Christa. Have you seen that?
No, I've heard of it though.
It's so good, especially if you like slow burn.
Yeah.
And I became a big fan of his work. I reached out to him, just started chatting with him because I had to talk to somebody about the movie. And I was like, I'm just going to reach out and see if he'll talk with me about it. And that led to me actually being on one of his next films. It was Trivial. I had a small role, and unfortunately, the bulk of that actually got cut. There's a whole dialogue scene and like a bunch of stuff. But because the movie ran long, they're like, all right, well, what do we have to cut? And that, I was like, oh. But I still got to meet James Edwards, and they used fragments of it as like, I guess, flashbacks to his character being a dick. So it's still in the movie. And my scene is like the first thing you see in the special feature. They did like it. They're just like, we had to trim it for time.
But I hate when that happens. So like what you'll love about when we do Big Boobenstein is we're shooting the full story, like everything that is in the script, and then those added stuff me and you were talking about for Ron, like that's all going to be in the film. Just because we're shooting this on our own without any like real studio or distro attached to begin with, we're going to tell the full story that we want to tell with these characters. So I want like nobody to worry about their scenes being like clipped out or anything like that. Like you guys are the highlight of the film, especially your character, because you are a very crucial part of the story.
Thank you. If you had to say just gut reaction, first reaction, is there a particular Christmas film that you say is your favorite?
I would say recently, probably Violent Night. Experiencing that in a theater was wild. Like I was on a date and we went for, I think it was opening night. And we're like, okay, it's a David Harbour movie. I went in completely blind. I just knew the storyline. I did not want to watch a preview for it. And everybody was losing their minds. Stuff too, of all the action kills, all the light jokes and everything too. And the Home Alone references throughout the film with the kid with the booby traps and so on. But I think everybody started laughing when Santa accidentally kills one of the guys with the machine guns. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be fantastic. And then I was glued for another like hour entirely to the film. And I would say that's probably, I'm going to put that on probably either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day just to wake up to kind of thing. And make some nice Christmas breakfast or something with the pets, as long as they stop trying to eat my food.
Is there a particular Christmas trope that you like to see?
Not too much. I think it's kind of everybody really gets the basis of the holidays when they do the films. I think they get it covered really, really well. It's all about, like I said, the Christmas vibe of family and unity and kind of thing too, and feeling accepted and so on like that, and obviously gift giving. But a lot of these films and stuff I've noticed and stuff, they're really diving into the subgenres, like I said, with like the sci-fi comedies, things like that too, though. But I think mostly, like, it's hard to say. So Hallmark shoots a lot of films in Buffalo, and a lot of them are Christmas movies. I think they really covered everything they can cover, Chris. So
I was talking to one buddy of mine, and there might be a market for one that has not been done.
What's that one?
Christmas in Australia.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Because it's different. It's a summer holiday for them.
Yeah.
So like I was talking to my friend Beardy, and he was explaining his version of Christmas. It's like he thinks of pools and water balloon fights and things like that. And I'm like, that is such a parallel, like nowhere near, like they're straight lines, like, but nowhere near each other.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was just imagining, I'm like, I could see like a United States girl or guy going over to meet the family for holidays, and then it is completely different from what they would have experienced.
I think they try to do that with like Christmas with the crank stuff, but they were going on vacation, like to, I think, Hawaii or something like that. So they get all like spray tanned or whatever, and they realize they have to rush home and stuff too and set up for the holidays. But yeah, I think that could be really, really funny of Australia or like South Africa or something like that, when these very warm climate regions, when we hit into December times. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, I was like, that's the only one I could think of after talking to them. I was like, that could be fun. And you don't have to deal with making fake snow.
Yeah. It was funny because like when we're doing the schedule for ours, a lot of people know, like the locals know, like, okay, there's a chance it's still going to be cold in April, and like snow will randomly hit. That's what we're more worried about. And Brian's like, oh yeah, snow should be done around like March for you guys. I'm like, no. We've had it snowed on like April 16th before, and it would not go away until May. But it's okay. we have workarounds for a reason. That's why we luckily work with a sound studio that helps us out a lot.
All right. Well, then on the flip side of that, is there any movie trope or cliche that you'd completely get rid of, or would you try to reinvent?
I think they should get rid of the whole two lovers getting back together on Christmas. Like, it's just been so overdone in every single movie, or two partners having their differences sorted out on Christmas or something like that. It was very odd and everything. That's what Hallmark really, that's their selling point for the dramas. I was in a Christmas movie. I completely forgot. I was in Best Man Holiday. I was in 2013. I was in the stadium scenes, and then I got to do a green screen walk with Taye Diggs. That one was a Christmas Day football movie, and that was really, really fun. I completely forgot about that. That was one of my first acting gigs. If
you could play any character from a Christmas film, who would it be, and would you do something to make it more your own?
I would love to have played Tim Allen in the Santa Claus, but I would have done the role heavily inspired by either John Candy or what's his name? I can't remember. Tommy Boy.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. There we go. Sorry. This is not called.
I remember Chris Farley well.
But yeah, I would have done it like that, and I think there was more. They could have played it more the grown-up jokes of the seriousness of Santa falling off the roof and everything too. Like, how is he going to explain that to his home insurance when he files a claim that somebody got hurt, or how someone got up on the top of his roof or something like that? But that movie, yeah, that was one of the ones my mom would always play when I was younger and stuff too, and I think, yeah, it was really, really interesting concept of you watch the movie as a kid, and of course, like, okay, it's Santa Claus and everything, and it's Tim Allen. And then growing up, you kind of understand of why they were questioning like his like psychiatric level and stuff too, of like, okay, is he going nuts and so on like that, because he's living this life like crazy. And then he's like, no, I am Santa Claus, and nobody believes him. They just think he's crazy. He struggles with his family, and I think he struggled with like the rights to his kid and stuff too. And that's why I like the movie did stick out to a couple adults and everything too, as understanding that as time goes by. Yeah, I would have loved to have that attempt to like do that character conflict of just trying to find the right place for it mentally and so on like that. Because it's also his character is like realizing when he goes to the North Pole for the first time, he's like, yeah, this is all rigged and fake and everything too. Then he starts realizing, oh shit, this is a problem. Same thing with Elf. Like, I don't think anybody could have done Elf better than Will Ferrell. I think he made that role like really his own on this. I loved it that Peter Dinklage was in there. Peter Dinklage struggled with acting for a very, very long time because he was typecast a lot. And I know he really picked up with Game of Thrones, obviously, but it's so awesome seeing him become like the Toxic Avenger.
The only person that really comes to my mind that could have, and I mean, and it would be still a completely different movie if you replaced Will Ferrell. I could see Paul Rubin.
Oh, absolutely. That would work too, I think. Especially with him like eating the gum under the table and everything too, and singing in the shower. It's such a shame that we lost him and stuff too. Like, he was very private on his medical stuff, like everything he dealt with. But I'm really excited to meet one of his close friends, Cassandra Peterson, that we get to meet her this coming Saturday at Steel City Con down in Pennsylvania.
So if you were to produce a Christmas movie on a low budget, what elements would you prioritize to still make it Christmas magic?
I have been playing heavily in animation. And I think Ollie the Other Reindeer, that was one of the TV specials and stuff too, that I think I came out in the early 2000s. And it was fun and everything too. It was very simple animation and stuff. Same thing with the claymation bits that our parents grew up with too. I would really want to do either the claymation animation or actual animation and stuff too. And it's really just reinventing like a modern day story, but obviously losing the elements of how glued kids are to their phones and so on like that, and just trying to tell whether if it's like a period piece animation or just like modern with like less modern day elements kind of thing too. I think that could be really fun.
What, in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge in writing or directing a film?
Casting is obviously the easiest things. Like we have so many friends and stuff online that it's just my Facebook now is really more film work than family. I think casting is one of the easiest bits because like I'll have you guys in mind for roles and I even tell you guys kind of thing too. Like I first joined on for Big Boobenstein. Mel mentioned you and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put his name in my pocket and hold it close and stuff too. And I'm so glad it all worked out. It's more of, after doing this for so long, you try to write affordably and stuff too. It's more of anyone can write a zombie film where there's 100 zombies bolting down a hallway chasing the actor, or UFO invasion and there's 50 ships in the sky and close in on the hero and so on like that as they hit the rocket that just hits the right one to cause a domino effect. But I think that's why I focus so much on comedy, because comedy could be dialogue and everything too. Comedy is expression, and it doesn't really need too much action involved. So that's why, like I said, writing affordably and stuff, whether if it's locations or actions or things like that. And luckily Jeff had this magnitude of a storyline set in stone. And I was like, okay, I could really work comedy around this and really make it shine even more than it already is. And luckily it just all worked out that I loved joining a project that the lead was already picked. And obviously Mel was the lead. I was like, okay, I know Mel, I know her voice, I know her image, make the film around that kind of thing too. It's like you have you have your centerpiece kind of thing to now make the designs around it to complete the picture. Other than that, yeah, like I wrote the Lady of Castle de la Mort that we shot back in November. I wrote that October of last year, and there's a lot of stuff that we wanted to shoot that did not make the cut. It was mainly came down to time and money, and even though I wrote affordably as we could, time is the enemy for all indie filmmakers. Like a lot of people realize we only have certain days available that we could really work on this all as a crew and get stuff done, and it's just really a matter of trying to pull every single option and source that you have just to get stuff done. Other than that, like Castle de la Mort's going to be amazing when it comes out. We got 2 pickup days that are going to be immediately after Big Boobenstein. The cast is just ready to get it done, and then we are set to go for June 19th for release. So my intention is work on the Kickstarter for Big Boobenstein all the way through December 31st, on top of editing for Castle de la Mort to get that ready to roll out, and then doing some animation frames bit by bit for Fumducks all in this time. So this is why I live alone and I don't talk to women. So this is more of like,
I don't know. You had a nice dating profile at the very beginning of this conversation. Like,
yeah,
ladies, hey.
Oh, I know.
Look at that Cheshire grin right there.
Oh, I know. One day and everything too, the stars will align and everything. But I think for now, it's mainly I'm just so dedicated to making sure these features are the best that they can be and everything too. Like Castle de la Mort is my first solo project that is really going to be making a lot of money. And it's more of, that's the one I solo ran in charge, didn't have to work with anybody else in the planning for it, except for Anne Marie. But Anne Marie was helping produce the film, and she didn't want a single penny for her role for the Lady of Castle de la Mort. And yeah, we're ready to have 2026 be the biggest creature feature year for our stuff, for Castle de la Mort and Big Boobenstein showing back-to-back at a drive-in theater in October.
I'm enjoying that idea.
Yeah.
I would love to see Boobenstein on a drive. That would be pretty.
Yeah. Oh God. Like I think Mel would freak out. that would be the time of her life. And I said if she does it, she has to be all green and go knock on the windows of people watching the car.
Yeah, her and I talked about doing something like that, like montagey at one point, like doing a montage of like dates and be like, oh, 2 at a malt shop, 2 straws, and the drive-in, like all that type of stuff.
That could work, I think, really well for the post-credit of, it would have to be after the film shows. So we show you guys, like we show Big Boobenstein on the big drive-in theater and cuts Ron and Adelaide and everything too, just kicking back in the car with like popcorn and everything too. Nice. And it cuts to you guys kissing and she's like, oh, this is always my favorite part. And then she winks at the camera, gives you a kiss, and then it just does like the old-fashioned movie circle, like the end. Kind of thing.
Could just do like the Grease ending, like as the car's driving out of the drive-in. Bye, everybody.
If we had the money, you guys would be like in the car, like as it's like flying away. Same thing with Grease.
That would be fun. So, if you were directing your own Christmas film, what genre do you think you'd want to get? You highlighted comedy, but you noted your favorite was a horror film the last couple of years.
I would definitely want to do a horror film. We have a script that I have not publicized too much, and it's called The House on Sunset Lane. So that is one that Lydia Manson is the lead for. It's more of we're just trying to figure out a time that everybody could get together to shoot it. Originally, we were supposed to do it the last week of December, but a previous project I was hired to be DP for booked us out for that week. And I told Lydia, and I'm like, hey, no matter what, we will get this film done at some point. I wrote up the concept for it, and Richard Roundtree in the UK helped out with it too. So Richard works as a head greensman or greensman supervisor. He worked on the last 3 or 4 Jurassic World movies. He was in charge of everybody signing the plans. He did the same thing with Dune Part 1, 2, and 3 that is filming right now in Tunisia. I met with him, God, it was like 6 or 7 years ago, networked like crazy, and he's always been a great friend and inspiration since. So we wrote a movie that takes place during Christmas time, and it's probably about 40 to 45 minutes. It's all about these burglars that break into this house of this rich guy that's not going to be home for Christmas, and they're trying to realize why some things are just very odd around the house. And it turns out there was a massive cult suicide in the basement that they just happened to miss.
Oh, dear.
And it's like there's supposed to be 10 or 15 people down there for bodies. And all of a sudden, they go back downstairs to try to crack the safe, and one of the bodies sit up. And it's all about, like, they opened some gateway, and all these 15 people are possessed. So it's all about the burglars trying to survive the night.
Okay.
So that's a project. Yeah, me and Lydia, we've been slowly planning and stuff too. And I told her like, hey, we really, because we need snow, we really might have to wait till next November to do this. And then I already booked out the returning cast for the Adelaide of the Mort prequel short film that we're going to be doing too. So November and December next year, I'm doing 2 other projects that I'm directing, and it's going to be crazy. I got to get you on one of those too.
Hell yeah.
And stuff. Mel wants to come back to be a part of the prequel, and we need a character that's like the core of the vampire hunting group that gets killed, and then that'll play into the flashback that we already shot for Adelaide of the Mort. So it's more of the reason why the vampire hunters went after this group kind of thing. So I'll definitely keep tabs with you on that one, because I think you'll go nuts for that.
You mentioned Mel. I still am appreciative that she even considered like pitching me to you. I've never worked with Mel. To hear that she was like, I want this guy to audition was very neat to me. I'm like, guess they seen something I was in.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Because well, you auditioned for Adelaide of the Mort, and I'm like, Chris is too handsome to play this role for the writer. I was like, that was the demographic changed and everything too, and I was like, it was like, I know you live far away and everything too, and when I do like the bigger roles and everything, I'd like to have it that, okay, if I need last minute fixes, something didn't work in the editing, just to meet up the following week with the local, just to quickly shoot their stuff and fix it and everything too. But Anne Marie's like scrolling through the auditions with me. She's like that one's too old, that one doesn't look right. She's like, this one's just too cute. You gotta get rid. And that was your email. That one up.
I liked my audition for that.
You did good for Henry.
I thought I did pretty solid on that.
Oh, you did good. Yeah, like I said, I want to try to get, when we shoot Boobenstein, some time, even if it's an hour, just to get a quick reaction shot, just to get you in the film, just so you can get 2 credits in one visit kind of thing too. Yeah, it's going to be insane in April.
So with that Christmas film that you were pitching there being a horror film, would you say it'd be more grounded, or is it going to be more like outlandish? How would you direct?
So we had a lot of ideas of, like, obviously we know the conflict of the film, but how do we end it? And I kept replaying like the void in my head, the old, or like the triangle and everything too, just like, okay, how do we kind of incorporate this and stuff? And it needs to be Lydia's character is the last one standing. It's kind of the same thing, the concepts, like, don't think of if they made Don't Breathe a Christmas movie horror film kind of thing too. It's like those are the vibes that we're trying to really tackle, but it's mainly the location wise. We had 2 houses amongst the film community that we're looking at. I think one of them is going to work perfect for us, and it just so happens we shot there for Not Another Monster movie about 8 years ago. It might work out really, really well. There's something I want to play with the boxes under the tree. There's a gag joke in one of them, and I don't want to ruin it.
Fair.
But yeah, it's something that I think you're really going to like. Cool. I think just because Jeff has given us the okay for a lot of my modern movies now, there's going to be these scattered across some of the cinematic universe.
As it should.
Yeah, God, I know. Yeah, we'll definitely have that as like one of the Christmas gifts, or it's like sticking out of the stocking in the House of Sunset Lane as the Book of Big Boobenstein, and yeah, just to do it and stuff too. But they gave me the okay of if I wanted to put a poster of Big Boobenstein and Fum Ducks, I could. So you guys will exist in a 2D animation world. So yeah, I think it'd be really funny just to try after our film releases and everything too, that I just full on animate one of the scenes from the movie and have one of the animated characters watching it on the TV.
I could see that. I don't want to spoil parts of the script to say which scenes, but I could think of like 2 or 3 good scenes that would probably be fun for animation.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think my favorite bit that we're going to do is the reanimation process. I think that's going to be a nod to all of us growing up with The Bride of Frankenstein and Boris Karloff and everything too, of just really delicately handling it. And I'm so glad we have Clifton Taylor and Brian Wilson and obviously Mel, like that scene together. That's our first day. And it's like, I wanted us to start on a very high note. and I think it's going to go really, really well.
Yeah, I think Clifton will do great as your Mad.
I was suggesting to Mel too, because of the green skin, to do a photo shoot for Christmas time too. So I think her and Don Cross, her photographer, are planning something coming up too.
Oh, maybe a Christmas calendar as a Kickstarter item.
Yeah, a very big Boobenstein Christmas.
If we got extra time, maybe we could film a short.
Yeah.
Like, what do they get in their stock?
Oh, I know. You're going to love working on the sets and stuff too. Like, I'm very dedicated that we don't shoot past 9:30. I want everyone home and rested and stuff too, and relaxed and fresh and everything. Like, the only one I want overwhelmed is me. And I can handle it pretty well. But yeah, your guys' rest and downtime is important and everything too. Like, we flat out had a half day for Castle in the Mort. We shot from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a day. Go look around Buffalo. Go find something fun to do. You guys have all this time to sleep in and relax and stuff. And I said, let us worry about how we're going to do the shots, and you guys go run around and do your stuff. And I think, Mel and Brian really liked it, that we took them out to lunch and everything too, to all these Buffalo places to check out. And they had a really, really fun day with it.
I was like, those are union hours.
I cut to Mel an hour later firing arrows at Nazis like she's Legolas, kind of thing, in the trees. But yeah, it was really something though. But I make sure everybody's time is, and mental health and stuff too, is very well like valued and respected and stuff. So
appreciate that. I'm more than one set. I've definitely pulled the all night.
Yeah, I heard a toy maker down in Texas and everything. They were shooting till like between 2 to 4 in the morning, and I remember Lydia's like, she is so overwhelmed and her sleep schedule is just completely destroyed. And yeah, I'm like, well, you don't have to worry about that on this one. So, I mean, Lydia during Castle in the Mort for the June scenes, she was sleeping on a couch in the sound stage and everything too, with like headphones on and sunglasses. And I'm like, okay, Henry, go wake her up. And Henry just hovers over her in full vampire wardrobe to wake her up.
So what do you think is one production challenge that would be unique to making a Christmas movie?
Snow, whether it is natural or like fake snow. A lot of these productions too, say like I mentioned before with the Hallmark one shooting locally in Western New York, is a lot of the Christmas movies do depend on snow. It is physically an element that is needed for the film. If they're trying to do natural, snow can be random and everything too. It could completely drop 2 feet overnight and it could be melted by halfway throughout the day. And if you don't get those shots done, you're screwed. So that's why I know a lot of people now are using, I think it's like packing foam, essentially, that's all crushed up in bits for fake snow and paper and things like that. I know the paper ones are more of a fire hazard. So I think they're kind of leaning towards more of the foam nowadays. I would say snow has everything critical to do with set design, and snow is what really visually sells it as Christmas film for the time period of the month. There are shoots that we worked on, and we shot a sequel to my first film, Alive, and we called it The Dead Winter, which is meant to be a winter zombie production, and unfortunately we shot the beginning and the ending. We didn't get the middle. Our actress unfortunately passed away from cancer, and we just did not feel like it was right to complete the project without her. So we kind of just respectfully shut down the process. We released clips and scenes of it, especially with her family, but we're like, hey, we're just unfortunately gonna have to write this one off, even though we spent months working on it. But it's all in her respects and everything too. She was a fantastic actress. I would never want to reshoot it with somebody else. So that's kind of everything.
It's really hard to kind of come back from that. I can only think of 1 or 2 films that have even really survived loss.
Yeah, it's like going back to snow and everything. That's how critical it was. As we had to plan it around each and every snowstorm, because we were very indie based. We were shooting on like DSLR cameras and just meeting up every weekend that we could. And we're like, okay, we have enough snow this weekend. Let's get these shots of everybody going through these giant snow piles with machine guns and shooting at zombies. And a lot of the shots came out really, really cool. Those ones we already posted online and everything, but it's more of, we didn't have the fulfilled story to release it as a feature. So we released it as segments and episodes, but you can definitely tell there's gaps. And that's why there's no DVD for Alive, The Dead Winter. But down the road, we do plan on doing a remake of the entire first feature and everything too. So it's more of, this is the feature that got me monetized and everything on YouTube. It's sitting at, I think, 200 and something thousand views.
Congratulations.
And Thank you. Yeah, I have no clue how people found it. Please stop clicking on it. I do not want people to see that and think of me as a director. But we will down the road do a proper reboot. It's just not going to happen for like 2 or 3 years. Like you will see Big Boobenstein #2 before you see Alive the remake kind of thing. So
are you committing to that now already, of Boobenstein 2?
Well, it's kind of an agreement with Mel and Jeff that it's in the contract that if the first one is successful, we will be back to do the second. So that's more of everything set in stone with the contracts that we signed with Jeff. So don't plan on going anywhere. there's a special paper called a sequel commitment. So.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I was like, I enjoy the script. You're not asking me to do anything too outlandish.
Yeah, I really censored it down for you to help you out, because
I would have done it. We would have figured something out. I would have just been like, it changed when it went from a smaller scene to a bigger scene. For the venue.
I think I made it look. I think it's going to be fun, the version that I did for a Battle of the Bands, because like that's has not been done, especially in local films and stuff too. And I'm like, we are getting. I think there's 14 or 15 independent directors that are coming to Buffalo just to be a part of that scene, whether they're in the crowd or in bands. We're really pulling a convention together of indie directors just to shoot a scene of a movie, and everyone's going to get their screen time, but. I made the convergence at the end of the film with the characters really fun and interesting. I tried to follow Jeff's blueprints of what he had with his book. And I'm like, okay, we're still getting to the gates of hell, essentially, but I'm just adding a very special, cool twist to it, if that makes sense.
I can imagine, the way I imagine the director piece from what you talked to me about was kind of like how in The Water Boy, where they're like, you can do it! And it's just various directors saying random one-liners.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, luckily Hunter Redfern is coming out for a couple scenes, so he's going to be in your band. So I think we're going to that. So we're going to have him be the drummer or the bass player, and we cast him for the name for Marty, but we just didn't give him an instrument setting yet. But he's going to be wearing like a sleeveless jean jacket and everything too, so his muscles are showing and his hair is all flowing down and everything too. And yeah, he has a good couple scenes too. But yeah, we got Chanda Rawlings. I'm working on getting Spooky Madison and Dusty Allen from Ohio. There's a couple people coming up from Tennessee. Jeff Dexodu or Dakota. I'm so sorry, Jeff, if you see this. I keep butchering. I heard his name once on an audio message and I keep butchering it. He's coming, I think, from Vermont and everything too. But yeah, we have a huge bulk of people just wanting to be on this project, and I'm saying yes to every indie director. I'm like, guys, form together. I'm like, because everyone's on this film's gonna go everywhere then. So.
I think it's a solid choice. My last real Christmas related question is about Christmas music, and Christmas music can swallow a bunch. There's so much out there, like just for film and media, and like you just can't walk around and not hear Mariah Carey sometimes.
I know. So, I wonder how money she's getting every single time that song plays.
So I'm just kind of curious what you think about Christmas music and how you might incorporate it into a film.
So I loved how they did it in 8 Crazy Nights and everything too, of Adam Sandler's animation. Sorry, Cosmo wants to say hi. He's gonna walk. He's walking right past. There he goes. All right, boy, want to say hi to everybody? He's like, no. Oh. So 8 Crazy Nights was the animated Adam Sandler film, I think 2002, 2003 when that came out.
Something along that.
There were musical bits to it and everything too, and it was a lot of adult humor. I'm trying to think. There are a couple other musical Christmas movies, and they're just all like losing my mind right now. I think they're really, really interesting and stuff too. Like obviously, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. They had good couple musical numbers in that too. Or Where Are You Christmas? And I guess they just redid the recording for that with the actress, and it's supposed to be like modern electric rock kind of thing now. Yeah, everybody constantly has Mariah Carey burned into the mind, and it's more of you are hoping every November when you go into a store that you just do not hear it yet.
Yeah, it's like it's coming, the battle cry. It's like once it starts, it does not stop.
And it's interesting, like how I think it's the song "Baby It's Cold Outside" is now looked down upon. And everything too. Like it used to just be like, oh, it's just a nice like Christmas Eve song or something. Sorry, censor the cat's butthole. But yeah, it's like, oh, like, well, this is kind of, someone being forceful on a date or whatever, or during this time. But yeah, it's interesting how it goes. I have pet you all day since I've been home. What do you need? Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. But
Yeah.
how would you incorporate music in your own work in that?
So that's what, like I said, of studying it and everything too, is just finding the right placement of a transition that would just work out well, whether it's a character going through emotional experience or something like that. Like they did that, and like I said, with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, that Cindy Lou was kind of, in a way, like praying kind of thing, if that makes sense. Sorry, he just knocked down the Adelaide pop. But yeah, character transitions and struggles and stuff too. Sometimes music works out best for it. Violent Night used music properly of when he's like killing all the mercenaries and everything. And I'm like, I never thought a Christmas song would work well with action stuff too. But yeah, it's just been crazy stuff. But I would definitely use it either with character struggling and development, or just obviously just mayhem.
So with that said, anything you'd like to plug, either your own
Yes.
projects or someone else's, if you want to be festive in that spirit?
I have many projects to bring up. I want to give a shout out to everybody on Shiver that is filming in January. Mel's involved in that too, along with Lydia Manson and Penny Aphrodite's in there, and our friend Ari on Instagram. They're going to be shooting that in January, and then we kind of reunite everybody in April when we shoot Big Boobenstein. If you want to grab the book online, a couple of these are going to be available. Jeff's going to be doing a re-release of the book, so the title cover is going to change. So we're trying to figure out. I pitched to him that he should kind of do it how they did with Lord of the Rings. We actually see like a frame or characters' faces on top of the book cover for like kind of like the movie releases of the books. Another one is the Lady Castle de la Mort preview, comes out at the end of December. We're really excited to get that out. It's about a 2.5 minute preview, and that will be in theaters June 19th of this coming year. And I promise to have the official trailer for Big Boobenstein to open the Lady of Castle de la Mort. So, and then Big Boobenstein should be out in theaters by fall time. So we want to release it definitely in October. We're just trying to figure out when. But people that attend Gross Fest this year, July 31st to August 1st, we'll have a first look at Big Boobenstein in person. I think we're going to play like the first 15 minutes of the film.
Oh, neat.
So yeah. Oh, you'll see everything before the public sees and stuff too. I
figured, but I wasn't gonna swear by it.
I'm very open with showing the cast scenes and timelines of the film. I'm not gonna shoot it and then hide it from you guys for 6 months. No, I'm gonna say like, hey, this is a funny blooper and stuff too, or just like, 'cause there's gonna be a lot of outtakes and everything too in this project. But yeah, we got a lot of really fun projects coming up. Fun Ducks will be out soon as well. If anything, it might have to wait till June 19th and stuff, and that'll also open Castle de la Mort just to get the first episode out. Lots of stuff going on in Western New York. We got a lot of big projects, and each time I try to slow down, another just big opportunity just drops right in front of me, and I'm like, well, shit, kind of thing. Because if I don't do it, someone else is going to do it. So that's why I just got to keep at it. But yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up together for me and you. And he is knocking down computer drives now.
There's no Christmas ornament, so he's got to go for something else.
Yeah, he's like, where's the tree? He's like, I can smell it.
All right. Well, thank you again for chatting with me about Christmas and movies and just kind of getting to know each other a little bit better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm grateful to be on. Sorry, he keeps popping in and out of frame like he's a ghost.
The ghost of Christmas future.
He's just, his head just disappears and comes back. But yeah, he'll haunt me definitely when it's his time. He'll be knocking things down left and right. I'll know it's him. All right, Cosmo, you want to say bye to the camera?
Hi, everybody.
See if
Cosmo, he's trying. He's getting the nice nuzzle in.
There he goes.
All right. Bye, everybody.